Roseman strikes again, adding another piece to the defense, this time depth at defensive tackle. Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, King Dingbat here, and hope everybody's having a great day. Hope you guys are doing, hope you're hanging in there. Howie Roseman strikes again. The Eagles strike again, adding another piece on defense. The Eagles' defensive tackle position just got deeper. Another underrated signing by one Howie Roseman, Howie Vision. We're all just living in it. The Eagles signed defensive tackle Kentavious from the New Orleans Saints, or formerly of the New Orleans Saints, and it's an underrated signing, no doubt about it. But before we get into it, if you're new to the channel and you like the content, make sure you hit that like button. More importantly, make sure you subscribe to the most censored, most throttled, Eagles content creator in all of the internet. And if you've been subscribed for a while, I just want to thank you guys so much for all the support you give to me. It truly, truly means a lot. And you guys always seem to find different ways to amaze me. The Draft 5 hats. They're on sale for pre-order right now. We're doing pre-orders. They are selling like hotcakes. I can't believe it. I didn't know so many Eagle fans wanted Bijan Robinson. I feel like, wow, there's a lot more of us than I thought. And these hats, they're about coming together as Eagle fans, coming together as those who want Bijan Robinson. And we're here to say, hey, we don't care what the narrative is about running backs and what people say you should do about running backs. We want the talent. We want the most talented player, and that's Bijan Robinson. And those are what those hats are for. So if you're still interested in a hat, you want a pre-order hat, click the link in the description and go check them out. They're moving pretty quick right now, and all hats will be shipped out as soon as we get to that pre-order deadline. It looks like it's going to be April 14th. We may move it up if we keep having a ton of sales, but so far it's been just going crazy, and I can't believe it. I'm so thankful to each and every one of you guys. So thank you, and if you haven't, definitely click the link in the description and make sure you go get your hat. Now, let's jump right into the Eagles breaking news, because this is, once again, a very interesting signing by the Eagles. I think this is a underrated signing. I think this is a very good signing because it adds defensive tackle depth. Now, is it a signing good enough to make the Eagles possibly skip going defensive tackle in the draft? We'll talk about that in a second. But Adam Schefter's reporting this. Eagles are signing former Saints defensive tackle Kentavious. Per sources, Street racked up 6 sacks for the Saints last season on 518 snaps he played. Actually, it wasn't 6 sacks last season, the last 2 seasons. But Street now joins safety Justin Evans as the second free agent this offseason to go from the New Orleans to Philadelphia. And if we look at Kentavious Street's season last year, he had 13 tackles, 3.5 sacks. He is 6'2", 287 pounds. He's only 26 years old. He was a 4th-round pick by the San Francisco 49ers, I believe, in 2018. Now, Milton Williams had 4 sacks last year, okay? Obviously, this is a rotational piece. You're losing Sue. You're losing Linval Joseph, although I'm hoping one of those 2 guys, if not both, but at least one of those 2 guys, come back next year. So we'll see if they add depth that way. But, you know, this is a good depth signing. One of the things that we haven't talked enough about is that the Eagles have really been bringing in guys young. They're young guys that are still developing. And some of these guys, like a Nicholas Moreau, I think are just scraping their prime. I think he's going to have a great year next year. I think Kentavious, I think him coming in this year is a good rotational piece. It's a good rotational piece. Now, is it enough to say keep you from signing a Jalen Carter or somebody like that? I don't know about that. But I do know that it's a good pickup in terms of depth. And it's very interesting. We talked about this yesterday. I got a lot of blowback about this. I got a lot of blowback when I said I think the Eagles, with their first two 2 of the first 3 picks, I believe, are going to be offense. And that could be offensive line, it could be running back, it could be wide receiver. I believe the Eagles are going to go offense early and heavy in this draft coming up. And once again, in free agency, the Eagles bring in another defensive player. All the money that has pretty much been allocated this offseason, besides restructuring, and then, of course, Rashad Penny, all of the salary cap money, all of it's been going to the defense. And there's a reason for that. The Eagles are trying to piece together this defense, band-aid it up, get it to the point where it's good enough for the next few years to kind of retool through the draft, especially next year's draft, and make your offense even better. And that's what they're going to focus on in the draft. I believe it. This is just another signing that makes me believe that I might be right about that. Obviously, I don't know for sure, although, Paulie Walnut's time. All right. But, obviously that's just my opinion. That's just my theory that they're going to go offense early in this draft. This kind of makes me feel like, once again, this reinforces it. Yeah, I do think the Eagles are going to go offense. Now, here's the thing, and what I'm wondering too, right? And this may be a hard out there connection to make, but did they sign this kid? Did they sign him because there's no way they're going for Jalen Carter in the first round? Or are the Eagles out on Jalen Carter? That I don't know. I don't think that whether or not they sign Street would stop them from drafting Carter. But I do wonder how far Carter is going to fall. I don't know if you guys saw this report, and shout out to Brandon for sending me this. Dov Clemens said this. Report, Georgia defensive lineman Jalen Carter has been taken off the NFL draft board, off an NFL draft board. The Pound Raiders have crossed him off the board and will not take him with the 7th overall pick, a source tells The Athletic. Now, we kind of understand why the Raiders may not want to take Jalen Carter, because Jalen Carter is a guy who just got in trouble speeding and reckless driving, and then his friend passed away. Horrible situation, and it may be a little too close to home with the Henry Ruggs situation. So that may be part of the reason why the Raiders don't want anything to do with him. The other thing is the Raiders could just be one of a few teams. We don't really know. But I can tell you this. If Jalen Carter falls to 10, I think you have to take him. I think you have to take him, even over Bijan Robinson. I'll trade up and get Bijan Robinson after that. But I have to take Jalen Carter if he falls to 10. We know the Raiders won't take him. How many other teams are possibly out there saying, you know what? We are not going to take Jalen Carter as well? That's going to be the question, because I have no idea. I think the Chicago Bears are a team he could go to. There's been talk about Detroit, Seattle. We just don't know what teams are thinking, except for the Raiders. And the Raiders may have a reason because of the whole Henry Ruggs situation. Well, we're going to find out. I need a drink. Tastes so good when it touches your lips, especially when it's just water. I'm learning to love water again. How about that? 500's learning to love water again, which I need to, because I gotta lose weight. You know what I mean? I'm working on it. But Jalen Carter off the board of the Raiders is significant in that that's a top 10 team that doesn't want to touch him because off the field stuff. Now they may be really sensitive because of the Henry Ruggs situation, or like I said, it could be one of several teams taking this approach. That we just don't know. But I think Jalen Carter, I have him rated as the number 2 overall player in this draft. Will Anderson Jr. is my favorite, but I just don't see any way he would get past the Arizona Cardinals, and I don't think the Arizona Cardinals would have any interest in trading with the Eagles. If anybody trades the Cardinals, it's going to be somebody trying to get a quarterback. Did you see Anthony Richardson in his pro day today? My gosh. Man's hitting the roof with his throws. That guy is an absolute talent, man. If he goes to the right team and he develops, he could be a force, man. I really like Richardson a lot, but I really want him to go to a team that will develop him the right way. Are the Colts and Steichen, would that be the perfect fit? Maybe, but I think it's going to be interesting how this draft falls. It really is, because I think this thing could go so many ways. There seems to me to be not really that many consensus guys. After you got your quarterbacks and you have Will Anderson Jr., we're not sure with Jalen Carter because off the field stuff right now. I've seen Bijan Robinson go in the top 10 to the back half of the first round. I've seen Kalijah Cansey go from the top of the draft, and I see him go to 5 to Seattle in mock drafts. I've seen him go late in the first round. I think a lot of people don't really know how this thing is going to shake out. This is why it's so important, in my opinion, for the Eagles to stay with strictly talent. Most talented player on your board, take them, regardless of position. And right now, if we look at it, it's probably going to be Jalen Carter or it's going to be Bijan Robinson. It's probably going to be one of those two guys at 10. And if both of those guys are off, I would not be surprised to see the Eagles take an offensive lineman. I definitely think it can happen. The Eagles might want to get somebody that can play both tackle and guard. And if you can move them, they may go ahead and draft offensive linemen. Maybe they decide, hey, you know what? We're going to keep Cam Jurgens at center. We're going to draft whoever, and they're going to play right guard for 1 year or for a couple years, and then we'll move them outside to right tackle when Lane goes. That may be the plan. They've had plans like that before. When they drafted Lane Johnson, I don't know if you guys initially remember, but Lane Johnson, the talk was he'll play right tackle till Peters goes, and then they'll move him over. He got so good at right tackle, they decided never to do that. So we'll see. It should be interesting. But the Eagles signed another defensive player, and I'm not surprised one bit. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's Howie Vision. We're all just living in it. I think this street signing is another good signing. I'll tell you what, here are my 3 favorite signings this all season. Well, and I'm not going to count Bradbury, because Bradbury, you know what you're getting. But to me, I thought the Morrow signing may be the biggest steal of a signing. I thought Marcus Mariota, for the price they got him, was absolutely fantastic. And then I think this kid's another good depth signing, a depth piece that you'll rotate in. Eagles love that rotation. He had 3 sacks last year, or he had 3.5 sacks last year, 3 the year before. If he could stay right around 3 to 5, rotating in with Milton Williams and those guys, it's going to be a great signing. Good job by Howie Roseman. He gets another A+ from me on this one. Denzel Washington out.